Hello everyone and welcome to an incredible game you guys have been sending me for the past few days. It was played a couple of days ago, but I was very busy over the weekend. I was the best man at my friend's wedding, but now I'm showing it. It's unlike anything you've ever seen. I've never seen this. I never even thought this was possible. Maybe, I thought it was possible, but I was never really thinking about it, especially not in the way it was executed here. So this is, and especially, pay close attention to the time on the clock. This is, let's just check it out. The Grandmaster Aman Hambleton versus German International Master, 20-year-old Ruben Gideon Kilna. This game is out of this world. So pawn to d4 by Aman and pawn to d6 by Ruben. We have bishop to f4, knight f6, and pawn to e3. We have knight b to d7 and pawn to h3. e5, challenging the bishop, bishop to h2, and now, okay, c6 and queen e7 are known moves, but here we have e captures on d4, and already move 5, we have a completely new game. So let's see what happens. E captures on d4, g6, we have knight f3, just continuing development, bishop to g7, bishop to d3, and castles kingside by both of them. We have rook to e8, and now Aman goes pawn to c3. You have to defend that d4 pawn, knight f8, and knight b to d2. We have bishop to d7, pawn to a4, and pawn to a5. We have queen to b3, and pawn to b6. Okay, all useful moves. We have bishop to b5, offering a trade, and Ruben accepts. Captures. We have queen to d7, offering a queen trade as well. And Aman goes for the queen trade also. Queen captures, we have knight captures, and rook f to e1. We have pawn to f5, knight to c4, and now pawn to h6. We have king to f1 and king to f7. So looks just like any other game. You think no one would think twice about further inspecting this game, but appearances can be deceiving. Knight to a3, rook captures on a1, we have knight captures on e1, and now knight to e6. We have knight to b5, putting pressure on the pawn here, and rook to c8 defending. But now this is not the best way to defend. The best way to defend would just be to play knight to f6, and the pawn is already defended. But by playing rook to c8, it seems like you're defending it twice and also maybe getting ready to start pushing some pawns. The problem is there's this fork. And this, okay, while it will not win you a rook, it will win you 2 pawns. So, okay, a bishop captures on d6. Now you can't capture. If you capture, the knight captures with check, and you lose the rook on c8. So we have pawn to c6, and now knight to a7. Played very, very quickly by Aman because, okay, you will win the c6 pawn as well. Rook to e8, knight captures on c6, and now knight to g5. We have pawn to f3 and bishop to f6. So now, okay, time on the clock is similar, and okay, this is a 3-minute blitz game, a 0 seconds increment, so maybe it's possible to hold even though you're down 2 pawns. Knight to d3, rook to e6 with an attack on both bishop and knight, but now knight c to e5. This comes with check, king to g7, and knight captures on d7. Rook captures on d6, and knight captures on f6. Of course, when you're up in material, you want to trade it down and then just win the game. King captures on f6, and now rook to e1. We have knight to e6 and king to e2. Pawn to h5, pawn to h4, stopping pawn to g5, and rook to d5. King to d2, we have rook to d6, and pawn to g3. We have knight to c7, rook to e5, and now knight back to e6. Just waiting to see what happens. We have king to e3, king to f7, and knight to f4. Grabbing more space and, of course, offering more trades. You're up 2 pawns, you just need to trade, and then, of course, the king and pawn endgame will be winning. Knight to c7 and pawn to c4. As the king nicely defends the d4 pawn, we have rook to c6 and pawn to b3. Nicely defending, rook back to d6 and pawn to d5. Grabbing more space, knight to a6, and now knight back to d3. We have knight back to c7, king to d4. We have knight to e6 with check, and now rook captures on e6. This is how Aman does it. Rook captures on e6, d captures on e6, and king captures on e6. And now, okay, you were down 2 pawns. Now you've also blundered a piece, but it's not, sometimes it's just not enough to beat your opponent straight up. Here Aman realizes something. He gets the most ingenious idea, but the problem is he only has 37 seconds to do it. Now the idea is he has a king and a knight, and look at this, he has 6 pawns, so it is possible to promote your pawns to the remaining pieces so you can have the starting setup on the board. Now, okay, of course, someone probably thought of this and probably has done it already, but to have your pieces set up like this and also checkmate your opponent with having to pre-move every move because you're simply down so much on the clock, that is something I've never seen. So let's see how Aman does it. Knight f4 check, king f6, and okay, we're not going to analyze the entire position because he's just going to gobble up all of the pawns. Okay, so he gobbles up the pawns, knight captures, and of course he doesn't want to give anything up. Captures, captures, and captures, and now his opponent, the machine, wants, well, maybe either to flag Aman or for Aman to maybe blunder and stalemate his opponent. Here we go. Okay, the pawns are marching forward. You still need to win the h5 pawn, so he will do that. King captures on h5, and now look at this. This is how Aman decided to, well, I could say many words, but humiliate his opponent, as this is, I mean, but also props to his opponent for not resigning. Sometimes, when someone starts playing with you like this, you just resign. So first he brings a queen into the game. But now he has to be very, very careful. He has to put his pieces on optimal squares, not to stalemate his opponent. Because now he's down 7 minutes on the clock. And this was played on chess.com. On Lead Chess, you can pre-move all you want and you don't burn time. But on chess.com, if you pre-move, you lose 1/10 of a second for each move you pre-move. That is one of the... Well, when long time ago, when I was still deciding where I will play, the loss of time during pre-moves was a big factor for me in choosing lead chess. For example, knight to e2, we have king to d7, knight to g1, king to e7, and now the other pawns must promote as well. You need the remaining pieces. All right, here comes the rook, king moves, here comes the other rook, and now we need the third one. And now 3 seconds, almost 4 seconds. That means you can play 40 moves max, because you will always lose 1/10 of a second when you pre-move, if you are able to pre-move all of the moves. But it turns out Aman is able to do it. King to f6. There was that one video, I don't know who did, I think Hikaru did it, where he sort of pre-moves the entire game and beats Magnus Carlsen, where here Aman actually pre-moves the entire game. And it's a 150 move game. So okay, now he has the perfect setup, but he still needs to checkmate the black king while having this setup. So how does he do that? Well, he will now use the queen and the rook to drive the king back. Okay. First, the queen and rook nicely force the black king to move down the board like this, or you have to be careful not to checkmate him and not to stalemate him. I don't know if this was maybe some sort of a challenge, or is this something that people are actually trying to do, or was Aman simply the first one to come up with this? Either way, it's incredible. So here, okay, the king went to b4, and now the king goes down the board, and there are only there's only one move that the black king can do, and that is king to b4. So he does it, king to b4, and now you could deliver a queen to c3 checkmate, but remember, you need your pieces on starting positions. Rook to h1, king to b3, and now queen to d6. This is the key move, and as usual, you have to take away the b4 square away from your opponent. So queen to d6, only move is king to c2, and now, believe it or not, queen to d1 is checkmate. Look at this beautiful, beautiful checkmate. The queen stopping the king from going to b3, the knight controlling c3, the bishop controlling b2. This is, well, I don't know. I can't remember the last time I saw something like this beautiful. I mean, absolutely amazing, and big congratulations to Aman on achieving this. This is just out of this world. Like I said, I never really thought about it, and you know, I don't know. It's just I've never not Sometimes you have the chessboard in front of you, and you're shuffling pieces. You're looking at all some funny stuff. Maybe something maybe you can create some sort of a weird construct or something. Never in a million years would I try to do this. But yeah, it's possible, and Aman not only did it, but he pre-moved it. So this is move 151, and he started doing it here. Once king captures and e6 was played here, he started doing it. So this is move 45. So yeah, I mean, he made 110 moves from this position with 37 seconds on the clock. That is incredible. So yeah, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you very much for suggesting it. If you want to see the original video of Aman actually playing this game, I suggest you do. Will be first link in the description below, so check it out as well. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. I would like to thank the Animated Chemist, A Friendly Weasel, Bubbles McGee, Tigran Shanazarian, and Chess King 22 for a contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot, I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing to check up on your wonderful suggestions, such as this one, and whatever else happens in the chess world. So thank you all, I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.